So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kite the Smasher over here. Just going to piss him off with the Xenon bow. Yeah. And then we're going to steal the crit opportunities from the enemies around me. And then everything will die. That's it. We'll get profit. Here we go. So shielders aren't really a big problem, but it's the Riot Huskies that I'm scared of. So we are going to be heavily relying on Arlene Iza to keep us alive. And oh my god. Oh my god, this is so much damage. This is killing everything with ease. You guys were really onto something. Holy crap. I had to open over 50 Pirate Llamas to get this weapon with crit hits cause explosion, and I still had to spend 100 flux. So I'm going out there for you guys. If you guys want to see that llama opening, link to that down below. This build is completely stolen from the Stormblade video. If you guys want to check that out, link down below to that as well. Basically, with White Elf Fiona in the lead, upping our crit chance, we are booming all the time with that crit hits cause an explosion. On top of that, we've got Totally Rockin' Out for the added damage from Rockin' Riff, and the added crit rating, because you need White Elf Fiona to get started. Totally Rockin' Out makes you boom a lot more. Josh, you did a ton of math. It's in the description with the spreadsheet where he explained why that's the best way to go. Corrosive Strikes, just because we're going to be critting all the time, might as well. We've got Monster Smash to keep us alive, and I'm using Assassination from Assassin Sarah just to make us do more damage. The only other Scythe hero in the game is Harvester Sarah, and I don't think that's better because it's only against slowed and snare targets. Now, most of our enemies will be slowed and snared because of the crit hits cause an explosion. We'll be critting a lot, but and that will be activating Corrosive Strikes, which means we will be attacking snared enemies, but it's only 25%, and Assassin Sarah just gives us a consistent 20% even if we don't crit, and I think that's a lot more consistent to go, but I'm really splitting hairs on like the least important part of this build. We're going to be running, like I showed you, a double attack speed, damage to miss monster bosses, crit hits cause an explosion, fire because we're in a nature zone, and this is interesting because I was wondering, you know, a fabled Stormblade, it is our king of booms, is it better? I don't actually know. We'll find out in game. But you can see Stormblade is slightly less damage, even supercharged, mind you. And we are not locked to energy like the Stormblade is. So against nature targets, we'll be doing 25% more because the Stormblade will only be able to do 75% of those targets. So I don't know if this is like a comparison to the Stormblade or not, but since the fishing hook is available in the Pirate Llamas, I figured I might as well make a video on it. And depending on when this goes out, Pirate Llamas might still be available. I'm scheduled very far in the future, so you're watching this probably a month after recording or more. So if you have some Pirate Llamas lying around that you never opened, then you might want to try out the fishing hook, but I'm not quite recommending that. Let's hop in game first, and then we'll see what we see. All right, got my fan on because I'm a sweaty gamer. Let's do some damage. Let's see. Ooh, wow. Maybe Archer and Matteo yelling at me saying this weapon was good. Maybe they were onto something. Okay, well, that crowd went quickly. Let's go kill this one right over here. Or maybe a small group of enemies. Yeah, there we go. You can hit multiple enemies in one swing, and each one of them has a chance to boom. And wow, boom does it. Holy crap. All right, I see a few things going on here. We got an encampment, we got a crowd of enemies, and I want to kill a Smasher. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kite the Smasher over here. Just going to piss him off with the Xenon bow. Yeah. And then we're going to steal the crit opportunities from the enemies around me, and then everything will die. That's it. We'll get profit. Here we go. So shielders aren't really a big problem, but it's the Riot Huskies that I'm scared of. So we are going to be heavily relying on Arlene Iza to keep us alive, and oh my god. Oh my god, this is so much damage. This is killing everything with ease. You guys were really onto something. Holy crap. Take her out with the Xenon bow. This encampment's over. That was easy mode. All right, it's not encampment, but that extra miss monster damage is coming into play here, by the way. God damn it. Okay. All right, Smasher killed himself. He just didn't want to see it. He saw it happen to the other Smasher, and I don't mind him. He was just doing a Hail Mary, running at me, doing what he could, just in case there was any chance he could stop the monster that is the fishing hook. But alas, he was hedging his bets with the ledge on the map. He's on the edge of glory. I can't stop him. Oh my god. Yeah, single target damage definitely suffers, but when you're in a crowd of enemies and every single one of them has that chance to activate a crit explosion, the snowball gets rolling really fast. All right, defense begins. I'm actually excited. So here's what I got set up. I've got multiple tunnels, all forcing enemies to these one wide gaps. And I just want to see if I can hold it down. Like, here we go. Bunch of enemies coming at me. The more the better, because you can activate those explosions, get Totally Rockin' Out active. Totally Rockin' Out heals you. Damage from your weapon heals you with Arlene Iza. And that is just exactly what I expected. This is so satisfying. I'm getting, obviously, some problems with the Riot Huskies, as mentioned. Those are certainly going to be an issue, but with a fumble football on the ground, the Smasher goes down with ease, and everything behind it just dies. Now, something that I was talking about off camera is really interesting, and that this weapon does swing slower than most melees. So the Stormblade's about a 0.25 or 0.29 swing speed with Bright Core, and this weapon is a 0.51. So technically we're swinging, was that 12, 1.12 slower? But because it swings in a consistent arc, it's actually very smooth. And what I mean is, most melees, like swords, most swords I should say, swing super, super fast, and then they slow down. And that is very evident and very kind of annoying. Like, you have to prepare for your weapon to just stop swinging periodically every 3 or 4 swings, which is really annoying. I find that kind of hard to deal with. And with this weapon, I was going over here to get more kills, but it seems like this was definitely where the party was at. With this weapon, it's a very consistent swing. I'm hoping that my teammates, people are in the stream, Kieran and Tucci, if you guys want to just handle the smashes that get past me. This weapon is not a miss monster killer. I think we can all see that, but it's doing really well against single targets. That's what I'm trying to help with right there. So I'm just going to ignore the smasher, let my teammates handle that, and then work on these smaller targets where apparently if I don't boom, I have problems. Now, that's something I want to explore throughout the rest of this, where that consistent swing speed, super nice, and the consistent explosions was really nice earlier too. Now, I know I was getting lucky. I've used Stormblade build enough times to know that sometimes, you guys have already seen it multiple times in this video, sometimes you just don't crit. Sometimes that's just how that goes. And I want to see how well this weapon performs when you're not critting. And I think that's where a part 2 of this video is going to happen today, where I want to try it with Affliction, because Affliction is happening every single swing, no matter what. And Affliction from melees tends to do a lot. It's actually what saved the Klax. Big link to that video down below. The Klax is truly one of the strongest melees in the entire freaking game. I don't think, based on the view count of that video, that people really believe me or care, but it's really strong. And a lot of that damage, not all of it, but a lot of it does come from that Affliction damage carrying a lot of the damage. So because of that, I feel like it's a weapon that a lot of people overlook, and I feel like Affliction could carry this weapon as well. We're going to find out together, but either way, there's going to be a surprise part 2, because I didn't talk about it earlier. I will admit, I kind of forgot, but it'll be hopefully more consistent. I don't know. It's a very different playstyle to this, though, so we'll see together and see how that performs. But for now, look at that damage. I could do this all day. I have done it all day. There are times when I'll run a Crit Explosion melee build, usually that Stormblade build, in fun 160 or just random 160s on stream with the viewers, not even a video, just hanging out, and it's so fun because you just do the same thing. You know, you just walk up to an enemy, get a nice arc on a wide row of enemies, and I don't know if you get extra range with a scythe. I don't actually know if you do or not, but it feels like it's got pretty good range. Either way, you're just booming, boom, 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 and you can see the health is not even going down. I'm literally standing in the storm getting attacked by enemies in a 164 player, 250 power level enemies, that is, and I'm alive, healthy even. Looks like we got a bunch of enemies over here. Let's see what we got, what we can do here. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, just stand up here, just wait for him to come in. Easy kills, easy kills. There we go. Respawning, you're just killing them over and over. It's like in Minecraft with a mob farm. Like you're just kind of recycling the same enemies over and over and over as they spawn. It's just torture. It's just murder. This is not even fair. It's not even fair. They never had a chance. I can just stand here in the spawn. Oh, is that a beehive? I don't care. I'm glad that these are slowing pools, by the way, not acid pools. They aren't acid pools, right? Oh, they are. I didn't even know. Well, see, that's just the point. That's just my point exactly. I'm literally standing in acid pools unaware of it being a problem. Now, another thing that I haven't mentioned yet, actually, is that the explosion does clear out beehives. So the reason I never seem to be standing in beehives for very long is because I've been clearing them as they arrive. How awesome is that? The explosion triggers on beehives. Now, I had a bit of a drought with kills there, so I had an adrenaline rush. You know, it happens, it happens. Here we go. Perfect. I was really hoping we would have a mini-boss that I can affect, so basically not trap vulnerable. Even Smokescreen to be completely fine, because this is a melee. I just need enemies to be around me, and that's what I said was perfect, but then they stopped spawning. I need enemies to be close to me so that I can trigger more explosions, get my Totally Rockin' out, and heal me in the process. Alright, so again, we have the mini-boss, but we've demonstrated earlier that this is not a multi-target weapon, or not a single-target weapon, the exact opposite. I need lots of enemies on me in order for this to be as good as it can be, and I'm just hoping that they get through the tunnels, or at least come close, because I need as many targets as possible just to activate these explosions. It doesn't seem to be working out right now, though, and this is where other melees can definitely be better. Crit explosion melees are almost always dependent on, well, multiple targets, and I'm having a hard time here, so I'm gonna have to let this mini boss go. I'm just gonna go over here, kill these guys instead, or maybe maybe move on to the next section of the video, because I don't want these videos to run on too long. I know some people like the double part videos, but some people like the single part videos. I'm still trying to find the sweet spot for video length, but I think we've definitely seen what we need to see here. I think the point has been made. I want to investigate a nice little Affliction build, so I'm going to cut to that part now. All right, the second loadout of this video is going to be Paleoluna in the lead, Blast from the Past, because of course. We're going to have Saurian Hide and Vigor. Vigor is garbage. Don't get it twisted. She's really, really bad. But we're not going to be using any energy, so we don't need Southie. We're not going to be doing anything with any of the other dinos. We might as well just get whatever little bit of healing we can. And then we got Assassination, which is not going to do much because this is more of like an attack speed-based weapon, but that's exactly why we have Battle Beat and support. And then we got Coconuts and support for the healing and the extra weapon damage, because of course you're not going to use Blast from the Past and Luna without Coconuts. What are you talking about? And of course, we got to talk about the weapon here. So, Fishing Hook with Affliction, double attack speed, damage to mist monsters and bosses. And that is not an accident, because damage to Afflicted is nice to have, but that extra damage against the big targets is probably going to be more useful. You could go either way here. You could go either way, but I don't know. I think I'm going to do damage to Afflicted. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, I know. I changed my mind last second, but I think that's going to work out perfectly fine. So let's hop in game and check it out. All right, we're coming in with the Affliction copy. You're going to pop a coconut just to get it going, and let's see. So let's see that extra Affliction damage. So it's definitely not a ton, but look at that. Extra couple 100,000 damage, and I'm being told in chat. So Red GS is a friend of mine in A1s who has been a tester of this game for some time. All right, he's been around in the community for a long time, and he's telling me that the extra 45% Affliction damage actually applies to Affliction itself, which is kind of a major bonus. Like, that's more than just weapon damage, it's the Affliction as well, and that's kind of a big deal. So, something to consider. And you can see the coconuts carrying their weight here. My health is not staying up, but the weapon damage alone is carrying a lot here. Like, that extra Affliction is good. Battle Beat and support gets the attack speed going. I'm missing every shot, but it doesn't even matter. Like, look at this weapon, actually kicking ass. I mean, Fishing Hook, an unironically good weapon. Oh, another crowd of enemies. Probably not going to need too many of these. I think we get the idea. I'll just kill these guys, and if we see any big targets, I'll go and bully them, but we'll head to the defense. Oh, yeah, right after this. We've seen what we need to see. This thing's crazy. All right, defense time. Ooh, I didn't even have to shoot it down. Let's go. So, this is a defense that I've defended so many times. If you guys have played this game a bunch, you probably recognize it. Like, there is a nice choke point right here. That's where I want to be, right in front of the traps. Now, for normal games, I would recommend letting your teammates' traps do the work, okay? All right, don't do what I'm doing. But as a YouTuber showing off a weapon, I'm allowing myself to go down here and be that guy. But look at that damage. With the Affliction damage being what it is, you can basically hit a target once and then just watch them die. You don't need to interact anymore. So the best way to do this is to just truly use a scythe for what it's used for. Just sort of go through and reap the entire area. Just tag everything once, go side to side, and just watch them all die. Of course, using the ninja ability there to get out of the way is super nice to avoid a smasher. And I haven't actually used the heavy attack on this weapon at all. Is it worth it? What kind of heavy attack does this even have? Spinning's kind of good. I've actually done that a little bit, but it's a nature zone, and I have no real energy coming in, so I'm not really sure I need that. And we've got a frozen smash over here. Somebody's running Zenith, just queuing this one up for me, so let's just do that. Look at this, killing all the enemies around it basically on accident, triggering Battle Beat, getting an easy kill. I've put no traps down, by the way, as well, so if I ever get Battle Beat, it's from this weapon alone, just showing off how good this weapon is. And I've got a bunch of coconuts, by the way, as well. I should definitely be eating these because I have them. They last for 30 seconds, so with 16 waves, you pretty much only need 16 coconuts to survive the entire mission. I should always be eating at least one per file. In fact, I might pay attention on the left to that. I never do that because it's not always necessary. The extra damage from the coconut, not the hugest deal. It's weird because I have little Ben's work right there. I am using this weapon as a Luna farm with double attack speed, but the weapon itself is doing so much without Luna that I kind of want to run maybe a normal melee build. Like, maybe Assassin Sarah in the lead would actually be better because, yeah, Luna's amazing and she helps a ton, but if so much of my damage is coming from the weapon, that could be a consideration. The Fishing Hook, unfortunately, is a weapon that's not the most popular weapon in the public eye. So, as exciting as this weapon is, I might want to run that. I don't know. As a gamer, I want to try it, but as a YouTuber, I don't know if this is worth a 3-part video or a follow-up video in the future, but it might be a thing. I want to make videos with Assassin Sarah in the lead anyway. I've made a video on the best ninja loadout. I'll link to that down below. And I think a much better way to show her off would be with the Mythic Ravager, because that's a weapon That's a weapon people care about. And as a content creator who makes fun loadouts, I have talked about the Mythic Ravager far too few times. So I think that needs to happen. I hear those flingers. Yeah, they're just walking into trap tunnels and dying. So look at this. Look at this damage. I mean, what more do you guys need to see? This is just Fortnite ASMR at this point. You know, this is just eating your food, enjoying the carnage before a day. This is great. This weapon, I watch a lot of videos like this personally, actually. I watch like a lot of Bloon Star Defense. You guys have seen it. I get comments whenever I show my YouTube channel. They're like, oh, you're subbed to ISAB too? And I'm like, yeah. Because I have more hours in BTD 6 than most people realize. Like over 400, close to 500 hours in that game. And it's just fun to watch videos like that while I brush my teeth. I set my phone up and I just chill out. How many people watching this right now are brushing their teeth? All right, finish brushing, wash your hands, and then comment down below. Let me know, because I'm actually curious, because I'm a video watcher when I brush teeth, and I wonder how many people do the same thing. But seeing as we've seen what we need to see, I'm going to hang out until the mini-boss comes around, and then I'll check in again with you guys. All right, mini-boss should be coming in wave 10, and there is just carnage over here. We've got enemies dying, smashes coming through. This choke point is very active. Look at all this. Look at all this. Now, before we get to this mini-boss, we know that this weapon is not a super single target, but it is smokescreen, so I can actually participate. This weapon's better as a crowd, I think. Like, it's doing hundreds of thousands of damage, but against the mini-boss, you need millions and millions, and he's doing so much damage that Paleoluna can't keep up. So I'm going to do this. We're going to get a couple of campfires down, crescent kick on accident, then get a couple of healing pads in. That way we keep the health up, that way Luna's maximizing her damage, and I can actually stay in this fight. You can see it's doing a very consistent amount. It's not a ton, it's not the multi-million damage wave of the Ravager, but it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. And while we're at it, I might as well just do a triple attack speed physical Ravager. Like, this is the kind of damage I'm talking about. Like, when I talk about better weapons, this is what we're after. I was hoping that wave would do a lot more, but like, you can kind of get the idea that this is a stronger weapon by far, and I think a better weapon to show off Assassin's Arrow. So I'll leave that future video plug as the end of this video. You guys can stay subscribed if you guys want to see any more. Thank you so much for watching. Twitch link down below if you want to be a part of the recording process. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. And then